think of the closest person to you and then you losing that person. And I think that's what a veteran feels like after service.
That's a great way to put it. I've never heard anybody put it like that before. But I could tell you that's true. I try and capture those moments on clothing, and let's not let that experience die. Nothing really makes me feel better if somebody buys it, puts it on, and tells me, hey, Mike, I got a compliment on this. You wouldn't believe it. And it had a pink unicorn horse on it. So it just says Majestic, the pink unicorn horse, AF. What other community out there would say, take all the blood out of my body, give it to the government. They own me. Do whatever you want with me.
Hi, and welcome to the Key Concepts podcast. If you care about entrepreneurship, creativity, or supporting our veterans, you're going to get a lot out of today's episode. I am joined by my special guest, Michael Pearson, who is the managing partner of BattleRaddle, a veteran-owned apparel brand built on purpose, identity, and impact. Michael, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Michael, for those who've never heard of BattleRaddle, how would you explain what it is and what you do?
We make our clothes in America, and we're an American-made, veteran-owned company that produces cool T-shirts. We have hoodies. We have novelty items, the shotgun thermoses, bullet pens, anything that's typically BattleRaddle, which is your gear that you always your ruck, everything that you need to have for, your drill or your infield or your missions, just redesigned for your everyday needs. So that's what we do really. But our mission is really to provide great clothing, and I'm learning the longer we're in business to give back to the community and love our following.
Well, We got some of your apparel here today. We have one of your thermoses that you brought. Thank you so much. I'm going to get you a gift too. So before we leave.
These are gifts for you. So
I know, but I got something for you in return. So we'll get that handled a little bit later on.
Yeah.
So love the mug. Love the thermos. Very cool. Very American. It makes me feel like a man holding this type of equipment.
Yeah. Interesting story real quick. I remember seeing the recruiter and just being scared, saying I'd never, ever join. And that's how crazy life is. It became my entire identity, serving veterans. Something I never thought I'd do.
Well, you go through it, you sign up, you enlist, which you have, and you've gone through your term and everything. And now you're on the other end of it. I mean, it does change you, and it's a big service to the country. So first and foremost, thank you for serving.
Yeah.
So appreciate you putting your life on the line to give us this opportunity and give us even the opportunity to do this podcast.
And without you, thank you for what you do, because I couldn't do it if you weren't doing this. So thank you.
Well, we're here to elevate these voices, so I'm happy about it. It's great. It's awesome.
Me too.
So back to BattleRaddle. You kind of alluded to this, but what is the core mission behind BattleRaddle when it comes to veterans and those who serve?
I think our core mission is to be there for anybody who's really suffering. And I don't know if that comes through if you buy a product and you put it on. I feel a bit different when I wear BattleRaddle. I feel different when I see comrades wearing BattleRaddle. I think our mission is to, when we're in the service and we're in the field, there could be some really fun times along with your bad times. Things that people will say or do, or something that'll happen to your battle that, your battle is your friend in the service, that is unforgettable. And so I try and capture those moments on clothing, on branded things, and let's relive that, and let's not let that experience die.
Yeah, no, I think it's awesome because people often forget the sacrifice that veterans make or have made. And they sometimes get forgotten, and I think are maybe sometimes underappreciated, the stuff that they may have to go through. So by wearing the gear, it's kind of like that public advertising that, hey, the country that you're living in does have a military. They do serve, they do lose their life. Yeah. They do risk it all for you to have the opportunity to drink your Starbucks, to do whatever you're doing, to go about your day, say, with the safety and security. So by having some of that military apparel-like type of branding and designs and so on and so forth, one, it's a reminder that the veterans do exist and to be a little bit more appreciative of the comrades who have served the country. So it does kind of elevate their identity and awareness.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I actually love how you said that, because I'll never forget on deployments how I felt. And sometimes I felt lost. Sometimes I felt like my life was on pause because everybody else life kept going. And I worked in a prison setting. So I was like, not only is my life on pause, I always remembered, like, you know, your net worth is the 5 people who you hang around with. And I'm sitting here in prison with these guys throwing poop at me, you know, and I'm cleaning it up, and I'm just the worst thing you could possibly imagine, right? And I'm like, my life's on pause. People don't even know I'm here. I thought it was the worst thing ever, you know, and I thought people forgot. So that's a huge part of it. And I'm glad you mentioned that. Like, there are people out there right now all across the world, like, especially all this stuff that's going on with these other countries that we're hearing about. There's people out there that are doing this. They're executing. Like, it's a big deal, like, because it could be you, it could be me, like, and it's hard. Like, dude, they're making sacrifice. So yeah, absolutely. We don't ever want to forget about those. We got so many shirts, remember everybody deployed, that are like that, you know? So it's a big deal.
Yeah. I think it's amazing. So yeah, the apparel is great. I think the swag is cool, the mugs, everything else to kind of give that little bit of remembrance for people throughout their day. So you also help people build their own brands and agendas. And so can you unpack, what does that mean? Is that through like designs, or what would that look like?
Yeah, we did NorCal Gun Vaults. They're a gun store in Rockland. And I know the owner pretty well, a veteran, Navy, a couple brothers. We went out shooting. So we loved them and still do, still visit them, still keep in touch. And so, yeah, we built their personal brand. We had a few designs that sold the best. So we had BattleRaddle clothing in there, but it eventually turned into, let's just sell your brand, man, because that's what we're trying to accomplish here. So, yeah, and we have the capability to do that. It's not our core business, but I mean, if people are out there and they need that, like, we'd help them.
It sounds like you guys would partner up with some of these other adjacent military or veteran-like organizations. So if there is someone that would be like, oh, I would love to have a merchandise or e-commerce brand niche or partnership, whatever that may look like, how would they get in touch with you? How would they contact you? Where can they send that inquiry to get that conversation started?
Just support at battleRaddle.com. The phone number is right on the website as soon as you go. But yeah, they just say, hey, we're helping veterans. You know, it could be a 501(c) foundation, something that is helping them. Yeah, we'd love to do that for them. We've worked with a lot of them in the past that are local. I think one of them's name is Echo Mike. They did a mission where they just took veterans out. So they'd raise funds, and then they have PTSD, whatever. They'd take them on the water. They'd plan this huge trip, which that was awesome, right? So donated a little bit to them, did a fundraiser with them. So yeah, anybody that needs help with that we'd love to help them or work with them.
Yeah. So we'll get all the links to your social media, to your website, the email address. We'll put it in the description. So support at BattleRaddle.com. We'll have that ready for people to easily identify it. But you also have a lot of stuff on your website. So we have the mug and we have the thermos today, which again are super cool. But what is that slew of things that you guys offer?
We used to offer a lot more, but over time, I just narrowed it down to what really sells and what people really like and enjoy. And that really comes down to the cotton t-shirt, the workout fitness t-shirt, and then for male and female, and then a hoodie, and then just novelty items. So, you know, it could be a gag gift. It could be a novelty item. It could be a gift for, you know, your buddy in the service. Just all those things that could be put onto a physical space and given to somebody to say, hey, man, you remember that one time when we were in the field and, you know, our socks were wet for 3 days and like all we had was, you know, whatever to keep them in good spirits. And so that's the whole goal. And so not necessarily this diverse product offering, but really just those core things.
Nice.
And we might offer more in the future. I don't know, but that's what's worked for us. Mm-hmm. And so that's really what we sell.
And then you also do custom designs then, is what it sounds like, because you're talking about these gag gifts and the inside jokes where people might have from their service that they've done. So
yeah, that's a great point.
How do they do the custom design?
They just contact us. We work directly with them. And that's a great point because a lot of people do have custom, like one that sold today, it said vegan badass. That was a custom design that came to me probably 3 or 4 years ago. And it didn't sell very well on the website. It was interesting. I was working with, the Baby Shark, and I was like, I removed this. And then just today, a couple of them sold. And I was like, wow, how interesting is that? You know, this custom work came through years ago. This guy said, I want a shirt that says this. So we go, no problem, man. We'll do it for you. Right? We make it. We put it on the website. Nobody buys it but that guy, right? It was like a gift for his wife. 5 years later, two more sell. So it's like, yeah, you contact our email, we'll do your custom, whatever your experience was, your gag, your buddies, whatever their name is, that means a lot to you, but maybe not the masses. Like, yeah, we'll put that on a shirt. We'll send it to you.
Now, I'm going to put a disclaimer because you mentioned the workout group earlier and you mentioned Baby Shark. And people probably don't know that are watching, like, what is this workout group he's alluding to? What is
Look them up. Yeah.
Who's Baby Shark? So for the viewers, it's the F3 workout group. So there is a group of men who work out routinely and they have nicknames. And so that's where the Baby Shark comes from. Yeah. But again, that's a cool inside joke, right? You have like Baby Shark.
Dude.
Coming in with like the military.
You got it. You got a big baby shark on his back spelled out with a fat shark, maybe with his face on it. And he's just got, a fish in his mouth. Who knows? Like nobody would know what that means. But to him, that's his workout shirt, like that's what BattleRaddle really is. It's those close relationships that you have or experiences. You want to make them last forever.
Yeah. It's a memento.
Exactly.
It ends up being a memento. That's awesome. So with the custom design process, like what does that process look like? Let's say someone sends you a design, like what do you do with that?
What we did in the past is we have designers on staff and we say, hey man, this is what we want. It's in text form, or it could be an image of something else. And we say, make this way better and do it with these colors. And they do it and they send it back. They like it, maybe a few versions, and then we put it on a shirt. But the longer I'm around and I'm using AI, can stuff really, it's changing a lot. So you could describe something that happened in the field and then get a variety of ideas. So that might be the jam now is that what I'm seeing now is a lot of people have something more than just text and they'll send it to you and they'll say, but I need to make it even better and add this and add that. So yeah, just customized work.
Are you using AI for like that ideation to figure out like how to update some of the designs, have a couple different flavors? I mean, I know it goes back and forth with the person a few times, but is that something that you've integrated as part of your review process?
Yep, that just happened. That's interesting. With Baby Shark, we are learning quick how much AI could do. I mean, this thing is taking what we used to have as a mock-up and putting it on a full human. You can't even tell that's AI. Okay, we got one where Trump is promoting our products himself, a buff Trump with his super nice hair in the Oval Office. He's like, okay, buy BattleRaddle. This shirt going to be huge. So it's like, wow, okay, this is different. Like, so, I mean, it's really changing quickly. So it's, our custom design process, it could be a lot more than it is now, but yeah, we've done that. And so we're exploring all that and everything is changing. Yeah. It's like I'm learning. It's like I got to reinvent myself. I'm learning so much right now still, which is so cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you're integrating some of that, and you mentioned you have the on-site staff. So it sounds like you're doing everything locally. So are you guys based out of America, all out of America, or do you outsource anything to other countries?
I used to print all the shirts in my garage. Then we leased some space in Folsom. I got rid of all that space and got rid of all the capitalized equipment because it broke. I mean, over time, it's a lot. Labor's a lot. It all broke. So now we have a company out of New York who does everything we want them to do. They could do, it gets technical, but it's a direct to garment transfer for everything or ink print. So they could handle all that. And so the order will come, the order will automatically go through them, and then it ships to the customer. So all of it's, it is done in America. And then, you have overseas staff that some of them do the designs, some of them do some of the work on the website. So a little bit of everything, but we do tout the American-made stuff. So
nice. But for the majority, as much as it can be in the United States, your distributor or is in the United States, you're doing everything locally, your designers are here, which is great because I love that. It's an American-based company making as much American resources as possible to get that to the end user.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's
exactly
awesome. It. So then who is your ideal BattleRaddle customer?
All I could really speak to is what's worked. So my customers in the past, if I was to break it down, I'd say most of them are on the East Coast. The second most of them are mid coast. And then very few of them are in California. And but over time, it's just the veteran, anybody who is patriotic. We've went down the road of political. So if they're they got a vendetta or they really like a political figure, they'll buy political. So It could be a dad and a mom who buy some of our mom and dad badass shirts. A lot of gifts that, this gal, Nita, and her son, the big story behind it is he's 28. He's still at home, and touched her heart. He comes to me and he goes, I was thinking about joining the service, but I don't know. And I told him everything I told you. Hey, look, if you really want me to tell you, look, man, join the service. It's worth a lot of money. I'll help you out. It's the best move you can make. I didn't join until I was your age, and it was the best thing I ever did. And I told myself I'd never join, so I think you should do it. And he did it. He's a customer. His mom's a big customer. So things like that where you just love somebody who needs some advice and show them the way, and they end up being, your core, really.
It sounds like it's pretty much anybody who loves America. Yeah. That could be the mom, dads, kids, and veterans, and everybody else in between that is either political, non-political, but as long as they're kind of like love the American branding, then that's typically the ideal customer anyways. They're going to
I think so. I think
purchase something along those lines.
Or they just they like patriotism. They like the don't tread on me. They like the name. They like a memory that they had and the BattleRaddle that they wore.
I guess there's two different type groups, because then there's like the inside jokes and all the creativity that they could use those custom designs for. So there's some of that, and then there's some of the routine customers. With all of this stuff, I mean, you have the vision, you're elevating some of the awareness around veterans and everything. So is there anything that you hope people feel when they wear the attire?
Yeah, I hope they feel good when they put it on. I hope that they have confidence when they put it on. I hope that it triggers that good memory to be in a good place mentally and physically and spiritually, and giving off, like we talked about earlier before that it was rolling good, like put it on and feel this vibe that you're giving out that's positive, and it gives you a story to tell. And nothing really makes me feel better if somebody buys it, puts it on, and tells me, hey, Mike, I got a compliment on this. You wouldn't believe it. I put it on. I got a compliment when I went to Starbucks. And I always ask them, I said, well, tell me about that. Like, how did that comment come about from A to Z? Tell me the whole thing. I love it. Dude, that's why we're doing this. To get the comments, to get noticed, like you're feeling good. When you get a comment on what you're wearing, you feel good. You can't beat that. Why are we going to these huge brands and buying it? We want it so people notice it and like maybe say something about it. I think, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. You do want someone to acknowledge that your attire is cool, it's fit, it looks nice.
Yeah.
And everything. And let me just call it out. Hey, I love your sweater. It looks nice. I like the patch on the right. I like the patch on the left.
Yeah.
I like the hat you got on.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I try to match it, make it look good, And it made me feel good this morning. Like, I guess the best example I could give you is when like we took the picture and everybody's like unified and wearing it, and we're all on a purpose, and we're all, people are just like, their design matches their sleeves, and it catches your eye, and it looks good, and they all take a photo, and they have that memory. Like, those are really special moments, for me, for them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Is there any design that you're most proud of looking back at the history of everything you've created?
I started BattleRaddle, and then my grandma, who has passed away last year, we worked with these designers, and she helped me with this business. But one thing she taught me is she said, you got to practice human kindness, and you got to love people. I didn't know what she meant. So I was like, I'm going to be kind, Grandma. Don't worry. We're running a business here. And I would heckle her for that. I'm getting to the answer, I promise. And so anyway, we told these staff, 2 or 3 at the time, said, we need the best design you could possibly make. And this needs to be our number one design. And the design that there was so many submitted, but the one that was number one for my grandma, for me, and it did become a good seller, not a top seller, but a good seller. It was majestic, and it had a pink unicorn horse on it. So it just says majestic, the pink unicorn horse, AF. And so, yeah, you're just majestic as like, you're just walking around all majestic. Like, do that. I mean, we would, so we all, and it had pink sleeves, right? Because the unicorn's pink, the text is white, the unicorn's pink, and your sleeves are pink. And you're walking around with whatever color hoodie and a pink, and you're just majestic. Like, dude, like that'll get some eyeballs. And they're just, what are you doing, bro? That's hilarious, So, we'd work in these, we bought them all for ourselves, and we were working, my grandma, my dad, me, in the garage, printing shirts, selling the designs, the best of times. Majestic AF. We still sell it. We still sell it.
I like that custom design aspect of it, because at least I know I'm supporting an American brand company. I know I'm supporting the veterans. It's one way to kind of give and donate and stuff like that. And you're kind of creating your own design. Is there a limit on how many orders you have to put by any chance? Like, say I do a custom design. Is there like 5 shirt minimum, 10 shirt minimum?
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's awesome. Then it makes it more affordable on the case by case basis. Yeah, that's awesome.
And I think we're so small. Most companies would tell you, no, we're never going to do that, but we're so small that we love to do it.
With the whole BattleRaddle marketing of everything that you do, what's the connection between like veteran stories and then like how you market specifically?
At first, it was those stories in the field. It was blatant drill sergeant cussing at you, memorable stuff. That's how we started. And then it went to more, believe in something that is bigger than you, and everything that patriotism stands for, and the remember everybody deployed, all those types of, we're going to remember the service members, like remember the fallen, bless the fallen, things that honor the veteran, honor the 22 a day, the just everything that somebody has to go through, but mostly recognizing somebody who maybe made the ultimate sacrifice. So yeah, we started with that. It pivoted to that's what's important and that's who we are. And then we went through this whole motivational line that which people buy, And now, interesting you asked that question, because now it's like, again, getting together with somebody new, things have changed. It's like, dude, you know what really works? It's faith. It's believe in yourself. It's let's capitalize on this faith stuff. And the older I get, when I started, I didn't have a family. Now I have a family, and it's just like, this stuff is very powerful. Let's launch this faith line. And let's also launch this fitness line, because it all goes hand in hand. You do your fitness, you believe in yourself, you get entrepreneurship, you feel good when you wear something, you're going to church, the community in your church, the community in your fitness group, they all believe in faith. So you slap that on your back, your favorite, Ephesians, your favorite Bible verse. Like, you talk about putting something on and feeling real good. Oh, that's where we're pivoting. It's like, we're going to do that. That's smart, And so it's all that, dude. It is all that. It changes.
Do you think some of that growing into that faith and fellowship, that aspect of that line, do you think it's more of an emerging trend because of the COVID years where we're locked down, we forgot how to communicate, the anxiety, the internal chatter in our head of you're not good enough. And so now that we were back, let out of our cage, and we're like, had that time to reflect, like, yeah, what does matter? Maybe it is trying to rebuild the community, getting back in the faith, getting back in the fellowship. And maybe you think that contributes to it, or you have another idea that might be driving some of that new trend?
No, I think you hit it on the nail. It's such a fascinating question for me in particular, because like with many things in life, I mean, I started not being a big man of faith, but as I've grown into it. So there's that whole element. And then there's the element of COVID, right? It's the element of like, we don't have to work. Let's stay at home. Let's work from home. Like, let's do that. That's the way. Well, you find out that's not the way, because you cut yourself off from the community. You're not going to church anymore. Problems happen. So you're seeking that. Or, people of my generation were getting older. And when you get older, you lose friends. And not only, I've lost people in the service that I've deployed with, but I mean, look, look what happened to these people who that we work out with, or your friends. Like, you'll lose somebody. So you're like, that's 2 people away from me. Like, that could be me. So you think about those things, and you think there's got to be something to believe. You got to believe, you got to have community, you got to take care of yourself, because these are the things that are going to make you have the longevity, and and remember all that. So yeah, to answer your question, it's everything. It's society, it's COVID, it's me growing personally, it's me losing my friends, it's everybody wanting their custom design, their camaraderie. It's all that. So I don't think it's necessarily one thing, it's everything.
It's kind of cool how you guys are very flexible in that sense. Is like there's a new market trend, or you guys are coming across a new idea or feeling a certain way, then you're like, let's try it. Let's kind of adapt. And so you're not stuck to these cookie cutter ways of doing things. If there's something else that presents itself, whatever that may be, hey, let's just give it a shot, see how it goes.
Yeah.
When you're doing a lot of the custom designs and everything, do you ever have to worry about the political climate? Does that ever impact the way you guys design or market anything?
It's changed. Yeah, we do worry about it. Yeah. We never got in trouble for it. Nobody said stop selling that thing. But I mean, dude, people buy Candace Owens stuff. People buy Trump stuff. So I'm like, well, I guess we'll make it. I don't know. I don't know, man. Let's see how it goes. But, you know, if they stop selling over time, we pull back. But yeah, it changed. Oh, yeah. It's everything changes with political stuff. The stock market will change. The policies will change. It's a lot of value to see where that stuff is coming from and having foresight for it. So it's not, t-shirts is probably the lowest to capitalize on that stuff. But yeah, man.
Well, that's good. Yeah. I mean, there's a balancing act of where do you draw the line? So you're not getting into hot waters, but you're also giving what the demand wants. Is there any marketing areas that you want to grow BattleRaddle into?
I think now with AI, it's going to be, okay, this AI is enhancing things. How are we going to create a system with AI to get on even more platforms that we're not aware of? Or how do we get people to, how do we put these on AI generated things to be out there on the socials or get people engaged? Like, how are we going to get more brand awareness? But mostly social media and staying in touch with your customers. Like, that's a big one. You care about them. You call them all. That's one of my goals this year is I want to call all 30, 40, 50,000 in the last few years that have bought something. Man, how are you doing? What's going on? And don't make it about the t-shirt. And just like, so I'll get text from, a lot are from angry, like, hey man, this seam was messed up. Don't worry, I'll send you another one, you know? But then I don't hear from them again. Or this guy texted me the other day, is old customer, years and years ago, hasn't bought a shirt in a few years and has some health problems. So I haven't called him back. What's one of my goals? I'm going to call him. But just to call all these people, I don't know of a better way right now for me to re-engage the following besides that. Because I'm already doing the socials and the AIs and the, you know, the paid ads with Google's, and it could always be increased. And I guess maybe making our marketing way more polished on especially like Facebook and Google platforms. That's probably where we're going to go. But calling them all is one of my huge goals this year.
Yeah, that's amazing. I don't think anybody really has that customer-centered design where you're like, hey, I'm going to call this customer, just ask them.
Yeah.
The managing partner is going to be like, is calling me. How crazy would that be? I get a call, I buy a shirt, the managing partner calls me. I just want to see how you're doing. You good?
Yeah.
You good? Anything I can pray about?
For real. You know where I learned that from was our darn workout group. I'm telling you.
That's very powerful.
It's so powerful.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I'm getting more, the longer this thing goes on, I'm getting more closer with the guys, and it's special stuff. Like you kind of don't forget how people make you feel or when they call you or what they're doing in your life. So if I could translate that love to my customers, I don't know how I'm going to do it, or maybe Baby Shark's going to be doing it. I don't know, help or together, but it's just so powerful. It's unimaginably powerful. And I know it. And that's a problem because I keep avoiding it. And what I'm avoiding is controlling me, which is a problem. So I gotta be better about it and be intentional and call them all.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's a great goal. I mean, 40,000, 50,000 people. I mean, maybe an email campaign or something like that. Mm-hmm. And say, hey, if you want to call me, maybe you set up like a calendar where you are available. They could book a call. Maybe just let them, the people that are interested. Just brainstorming, like, how could you be more intentional. You can't duplicate yourself not yet anyways. We're not, wait till AI can duplicate you and put you into a robot. But until we're there, you're going to have to be.
There you go.
Yeah, picking up the phone call.
Does AI do that yet? Because I'm all aboard. You know?
Someone can leave a comment below and let us know what's possible.
Yeah, let us know. I'm clearly not doing it. But in my experience, nothing beats that human touch, man.
Looking back at everything that you've done at BattleRaddle from starting it to where you're at today, is there anything that you would have done differently?
Yeah. But if I didn't do it that way, I wouldn't have had the experience that made me to who I am right now. So I don't know if I would change. So what I'm saying is I think my mistake was bringing my own family into the business. But if I didn't do it that way, I don't think we would be the same. And I don't know if I'd want that. So that's kind of, I don't know. I don't know if I'm even answering your question. There's operational stuff. Like I wouldn't have done ads certain way, or I wouldn't do, some of the equipment that I bought and the way I did the t-shirts was more expensive and I didn't need it. And I could have done way cheaper equipment. But then what's interesting about that is like the technology changed over time where now the equipment, you could do it for even cheaper. So it's, there's always ways that you could do it better, but I wouldn't have learned.
Yeah. No massive mistakes. I mean, even with the family stuff, it's all like a point in time. At some point in time, you're like, wow, I wish I would have started off with just employees, not the family. But then you get a little bit further, you're like, oh, I'm thankful that I started off with the family. So it's like, at what period of time? But it's supposed to, but looking back now, it's like, at one time I thought this way, but I don't think this way no more because now it's grown everybody to be more cohesive in some way, shape, or form. So kind of cool. Are there any misconceptions about veterans that you want to clarify? Things people think are true that are not true?
I think the veteran community is just some of the most special people. Really, like, yeah, some of them are uneducated or some of them have a lot of problems and some of them, have the stigma of maybe having several things wrong with them. But what other community out there would say, take all the blood out of my body, give it to the government. They own me. Do whatever you want with me. Like, just think about that. Like, whoa. Yeah, you may be a dumbass or doing nothing with your life today or like out on the streets right now, but at one point you did that. And I just don't think that can be forgotten. And so I'd say like, it doesn't matter if they're like at the VA, homeless, need a place to live. They're that same person, but they just look different and they've aged. And so that's the type of person who would probably give anything just for a cause. And that's just super unique and hard to find. And yeah, they might be getting handouts or they might be getting free money, or is it free money or did they earn it? I don't know. It's controversy. But they're real special people, and everybody is human and they need at some point, or you get sick or you make mistakes, or maybe you get hooked on a substance. Maybe your family falls apart. Maybe you lost a kid. Like, you just don't know what that person's going through, veteran or non-veteran. It happens to everybody. So just keep that in mind. Like, cool, they are a veteran. They might have problems now, but they did make that sacrifice. And then some, maybe even the more important thing to remember about a veteran is like, they're special for that regard, that they gave their blood and they signed a paycheck that didn't have a dollar amount, but they made it. Okay. They didn't make the ultimate sacrifice, but their peer or a second degree or third degree peer from them, they went to basic, they did all this stuff. They gave the same blood, but they died. They died in service. They went and fought for the country and they didn't make it, and they made the ultimate sacrifice. So when you look at the veteran who's alive, before you judge them, just think, they served among those same population who did, and it could have been them. So maybe give them some grace or some mercy or forgiveness, whatever you want to do. But that person's pretty special just for that, Yeah,
some grace and a helping hand and some patience, obviously, would go a long way. Not to be so quick to judge and to ridicule and to condemn. In some ways, it's like they probably have a lot going on and have been through a lot, and we don't know their story. They probably have seen close people that have died. Like, think of the closest person to you and then you losing that person. And I think that's what a veteran feels like after service.
That's a great way to put it. I've never heard anybody put it like that before. But I could tell you that's true, because you're in a unit and you're in a platoon and you're in a squad and you're in a battle team, and they are your family at that very given moment. And if you lose one of them, it's the same thing. It really is. I love the way you put that. That was really good.
That's awesome. Is there, man, I feel like we could go in so many different directions. Is there any topics about BattleRaddle or the veteran community that we haven't touched base upon that you want to discuss?
I would say a lot of people who I served with, I retired in 2023. I keep in contact with a few of them, but not a lot of them. And that's one thing I'd like to see change. And I think I'm learning a lot through our workout group that's kind of what it's all about, because I need to reconnect with these guys that I deployed with. I need to reach out. How are you doing? Same thing I want to do with my customer base, but to my Army crew, like, keep them together. And it's way more special like that. And then, like, through what I learned through the workout community, you know, that circle we did today. Well, you could do anything when you're all together and you're all supporting one another. Dude, that's what it's all about, I think. So
yeah.
That's what I want people to know is, like, you can go to the VA and get that support and kind of get a glimpse of that, but nothing like the people that you served with or the people who are close to you to create a community. Like, I got to think of a way to reinvent BattleRaddle to do that. And I think that's what I want people to know and be aware, on top of don't judge a veteran. They're just human. Be there for them, you know?
Yeah, I guess there's this community aspect that once you leave the service is kind of missing.
Dude.
So you got to
Like,
figure out a way to...
depressing, missing.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you wouldn't believe it. Because that was your community. And then you retire and you're gone. You're out of it. They say, yeah, here's your papers.
I guess the big takeaway is that if someone knows a veteran, to invite them to a community event, even if they don't go, extend a hand. See if they're willing to join that community, be a part of something, so they can have that camaraderie, or the people around them, to let them know they are appreciated, they're not forgotten.
That is the best thing you could do for a veteran, Corey. Hey, man, you all right? First of all, like, what's going on? Would you like to come to this? And just give them community, give them fellowship. Like, it's just so kind. It's just... I mean, I hate to get biblical, you know, it's what God would do, but it's just like, it's what good humans do. And it'll make you feel better because you gave that guy mercy, grace, love. Like, dude, nothing better than that.
Yeah. It's just a form of another form of the expressed love and gratitude or something. And so I was just kind of paraphrasing what you were already saying. So where can people find your website, your handles, social media? If they want to find out more about BattleRaddle and get connected, where can they go?
It's just BattleRaddle, BattleRaddle at BattleRaddle. That's it. Facebook, Instagram, everything. Support at BattleRaddle.com. My phone number's on the website.
Awesome. We'll get it in the description again. We'll get it all linked up. So if people want to check it out, they'll see if they're watching it on video, they'll see it in video. If they're listening to the audio version of this, they could go into the description below and check it out there. We have a section where the last guest leaves a question for the next guest. So the last guest left this question for you. They said, if you could wave a magic wand and create your ideal professional life, what would that look like?
Love people who love you. You know, you create this following through your meaning, and you just love those people. And then you just keep doing it. And it just becomes so part of your life that you're just like, I'm living it. I'm doing it. Like, man, probably nothing better than that, you know, because you don't really realize the impact that you have on other people. But if you're gone and you came back and nobody knew who you were, you'd really know what it is really quickly, right? The only thing you could take with you is that of which you've given away. And there is no man who is a failure that has friends, community, right? Like, that's it right there.
Well, Michael, thank you so much for joining us today on this episode of the Key Concepts Podcast. It's been a pleasure going through BattleRaddle and hearing some of your journey and your service. And thank you again for your service specifically.
Thanks, bro.
What stands out most is that it's not just about the apparel. It's a movement rooted in service, purpose, and staying true to your core values. Make sure you check out BattleRaddle and support the brand. We'd love to see you in some gear. Tag them on the social media if you do buy something and wear it. That seems to be the best thing that works. So thank you for watching this episode of the Key Concepts Podcast, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.